Okay, we still got traffic in the background, and I'm still coming down from a cold, or a sinus infection, but one of the common questions is how you prepare for unintended consequences, unforeseen circumstances, things that cannot be reliably foreseen prior to their happening. The adaptive nature, of course, is one solution, but there is sufficient history at this stage of our existence to adequately prepare for most of the major issues. Engaging in environmental conservation and rural development initiatives is essential for promoting systemically sustainable human growth and development, enhancing livelihoods, and preserving natural resources. However, despite the best intentions, the lack of adequate or proper planning and the inability to introduce integrated and adaptive solutions will often lead to unforeseen circumstances and unintended consequences, further exacerbating the very issues these programs were meant to resolve. From ecological disasters to social and economic upheaval, various factors can contribute to the failure or mismanagement of conservation and development projects. One significant challenge in environmental conservation is the occurrence of large-scale wildfires, such as the infamous Yellowstone fire, and numerous fires in the western United States, especially throughout California. While wildfires are a natural part of many ecosystems, they can become catastrophic when fueled by factors like climate change, poor forest management practices, disallowing the ability of people to gather and prune dead brush or dying trees, and even human encroachment into wildland areas in some cases. These uncontrolled wildfires not only devastate forests and wildlife habitats, but also pose risks to human lives, property, and infrastructure. Similarly, the destruction of mangrove swamps and cypress groves, often due to poorly planned and implemented restoration efforts, threatens valuable coastal ecosystems and biodiversity. Mangroves play a crucial role in coastal protection, carbon sequestration, and supporting fisheries, and are an important aspect, especially in places like the Philippines. Just an interesting side note here, the mangrove tree is known locally in the Philippine language in Tagalog as the Maynil tree, which was the origin of the word Maynila, or Manila, where the capital gets its name. The original ground area of Manila was scarcely more than the areas in and around what is now known as Intramuros, and as a result of the unforeseen circumstances, the land reclamation has resulted in much of modern-day Manila being built on what are effectively floodplains. Reforestation efforts, while well-intentioned, can also lead to unintended consequences if poorly planned or managed. In some cases, monoculture plantations and even reforestation efforts, such as those in the Quezon province, where the Sakahoy ng Buhay, or the Tree of Life, more commonly known as the Palinea tree, was used. The rapid growth rates resulted in the Palinea tree being considered an invasive species in many areas, and the rapid growth rates ultimately led to the disruption and, in some cases, the total destruction of local existing natural ecosystems that were already in place. These programs, not only in the Philippines but around the world, are often established without considering the ecological requirements of native species or the needs of local communities. This can result in the loss of biodiversity, soil degradation, increased erosion and soil contamination, and even a decreased resilience to pests, diseases, and the impacts of climate change. Moreover, reforestation projects may sometimes, even if inadvertently, displace indigenous peoples or disrupt traditional land use practices, leading to conflicts and even social unrest. In rural development programs, the introduction of economic and agricultural programs can sometimes disrupt local markets and exacerbate poverty and inequality. For example, the promotion of cash crops or industrial agriculture may prioritize export-oriented production over food security and smallholder livelihoods. This can lead to the marginalization of small-scale farmers, loss of traditional knowledge, and increased dependence on external inputs and markets. Conversely, the introduction of large volumes of crops or livestock may disrupt the local markets, pricing local farmers out of the markets and leaving them bankrupt and destitute. Another common pitfall in rural development is the unintended consequence of property value appreciation. While investments in infrastructure, housing, and amenities may initially improve living conditions and attract investment, they can also lead to gentrification and displacement. Rising property values and taxes may price out longtime residents, forcing them to leave their homes and communities in search of more affordable housing options. This can erode social cohesion, cultural heritage, and community resilience, ultimately undermining the goals of rural development initiatives. Furthermore, well-intentioned conservation and development projects may overlook the importance of community participation, local knowledge, and empowerment. Top-down approaches that fail to engage stakeholders or address their needs and aspirations often result in resistance, mistrust, and project failure. Effective conservation and development requires collaboration, transparency, and accountability with a focus on building local capacity and ownership. While environmental conservation and rural development are essential for promoting sustainable development and improving livelihoods, while environmental conservation and rural developments are essential for promoting sustainable development and improving livelihoods, they can sometimes lead to unintended consequences and exacerbate existing challenges. From ecological disasters to social and economic disruptions, various factors can contribute to the failure or mismanagement of conservation and development projects. It is imperative to adopt holistic, participatory approaches that consider the complex interplay of social, economic, and environmental factors, prioritize community well-being and resilience, and ensure that interventions are contextually appropriate, inclusive, and sustainable. If you'd like to know more, we're always here to talk about it. Let us know, please. Thank you. Bye. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below.